حكيم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا وإخلاصا وتجردا وتواضعا يا رب العالمين. Inshallah, tonight we take another fiqh. I try, inshallah, not to make you get bored, so we diversify in this khawatir. So on Sunday, we're going to have, inshallah, the fiqh of the new Muslim, because we need to know this stuff. And what I mean by new Muslim, not only somebody who just become Muslim. If somebody was not practicing, he was a Muslim, but he never practiced, that is called the new Muslim. And to know this stuff. And on Monday, we will take the fiqh of Salah. And tonight, inshallah, I try to cover something because of the need. And this is fiqh al-jama'ah, the fiqh of the congregation. So we are a congregation. And this congregation could be the family, could be people traveling, could be whatever. So the fiqh apply to them. And number one, what does it mean fiqh? When I say fiqh al-salah, the fiqh of salah, the fiqh of fasting, the fiqh of the congregation, the fiqh of a new Muslim. What does it mean fiqh? Huh? That's his translation. Yani, what does it mean? What comes in your mind? Because you said fiqh al-salah. Rules are regulated, mashallah. Always you give 70% of the answer. So the fiqh, in specific way, you know the 5 rulings. You remember al-ahkam al-khamsa, the 5 rulings. Either what you are doing, what is required from me to do, what is recommended, what is haram for me not to do, what is makruh not to do, and what is permissible that I can do. So whenever we say fiqh, always these 5 rulings. Like yesterday, we said there is something haram to, there is a dua, is haram for you to do in the salah. And this is where? And standing in qiyam. Because this is the place of the Quran. You recite the Quran. So I need to know this fiqh. So the same for the congregation, we are a congregation. And if we don't know this fiqh, what will happen? Because somebody might say, why we are addressing this issue? It's a very important issue. Because if we don't know this fiqh, we're going to end up destroying some big goals that Islam wants from us. And the 2 goals that Islam is all about, as the main ones, is what? Yeah, Iman and Ukhuwa. إنما المؤمنون إخوة. The believers are brothers. يعني توحيد توحيد الكلمة يعني كلمة التوحيد, which is لا إله إلا الله. وتوحيد الكلمة. It's not enough. كلمة التوحيد is not enough that you say لا إله إلا الله. That is half. The other half is what? وتوحيد الكلمة, which is to be brothers. So if I don't know this fiqh, sometimes for a small thing, this brotherhood is destroyed. And people, you see them talking and they have problem on small issues, they don't talk to each other, and they might hold grudges on each other and so on. So, and why this? Because when we are in congregation, a human nature, we're going to differ on some issues. Like the fans. And I was saying, as example, there are some people want the fans, there are some people they don't want. So who's right and who's wrong? Huh? Who's right? The one that they want the fans or the one that they don't want? Huh? Both are right? MashaAllah. That's a good, that's smart answer. So both of them are right, but one, he wants it, one, he doesn't want it. And inshallah, I'm going to ask the board to put it in the agenda of the next board meeting, what to do. In Morocco, you know what they did? Half of the masjid with the fans, half without. And really, because people fight. And people didn't want to come to the masjid or this or that. So here, if I know the fiqh of the jama'ah, it solves this problem. And without this, brotherhood is touched. I'm just giving an example. Don't think that Khatera is about this. No, I have this in mind. I used to talk about it in an indirect way, but if we understand it. So in this case, the Amir, whosoever might be the Amir, in Masjid here, we have many Amirs and we have the big Amir. Many Amirs, everybody is in charge of something. Like the security, they are Amir of the parking. It's their call. You cannot fight with them and you say, no, you are right, you are wrong. No, somebody has to make the call. That's why they say, رأي الإمام إيش؟ يرفع الخلاف. The decision of the Amir get rid of the differences between the Muslims. That's why, subhanAllah, you know the incidents of Bani Qurayda? When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam finished with the Ahzab and he heard that the Bani Qurayda betrayed him. And you know that they have a contract with him when he arrived to Al-Madinah. So he asked the Muslim, whosoever believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment, let him pray Asr, where? In Bani Qurayda. A clear instructions. So the Muslim, they left. After Dhuhr, from Al-Madinah toward Bani Qurayda. Then on the road, the time of Asr came. And they stopped. Some of them said, we have to pray. Because if we wait till Bani Qurayda, what happened? Time of Maghrib will be there. So we're going to miss Asr. And he said, the Prophet, when he said, pray in Bani Qurayda, means that he wants us to go fast. The other one said, no. The Prophet said it. We're going to pray Asr in Bani Qurayda, even if it's after Isha. So now, what happened? Some of them, they prayed, and some of them didn't pray. So now they differ. Of course, nobody blamed the other one. Sometimes we blame. You know, those who didn't pray, they waited for the others till they finished their prayer. I'm not going to pray, but I'm going to wait for you because we are brothers. We cannot always keep this brotherhood in front of you, because there is no other action in Islam that comes closer to brotherhood after Iman. Iman comes first. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. That's it. So why they differ? They should either pray together or not to pray. Because the Prophet ﷺ in this incident, he didn't assign an Amir. Usually he assigned an Amir. Because he knows people, they will differ. People, they're going to have differences of opinion and so on. And when the Imam, when the Amir decide on something, does not mean his decision is Quran. That you have to accept it and you have to believe in it. No, you can disagree with it. But you have to follow it and respect it. Otherwise, we're going to have chaos. We're going to have chaos. Everybody is going to take the law in their hand. And nobody, the same right that you have, I have the same right. Forget about the fans, please. Let's move on. Because I say this will work in your family. That's why now people are having divorces and so on, because people, they forget this fiqh of the congregation. And the wife, she said, no, you have no right to be the boss. So, okay, somebody has to make a call. That's why the ref, you know, the Olympics and so on, you know, they are paid crazy money just to make the call. And you know, people, subhanAllah, they are trained, the players and so on, that they can come object, but at the end, they accept that. You know, one of my ways of tarbiyah, I don't do it anymore. I take people to the game. And I used to play soccer, I'm good in that. But I don't like to play sometimes. I said, I want to be the ref. Okay. And I make sometimes deliberate wrong calls. And you're going to see. That respect of the Imam is not, you know, there anymore. Because if you want the reality of the person, his quality is outside the masjid. And I push the button sometimes. And I said, well, okay, you see it from your angle, I see it from my angle. Somebody has to make the call. And people, they start fighting and this. So that gives me what? The topic for Friday khutbah and Khatera and so on. This is the tarbiyah and so on. Not because people are bad, but this fiqh that we should know. That's why, subhanallah, and I will stop here and we're going to continue deal with it, inshallah. That's why, where you learn the fiqh of the congregation, where? The best place to learn is in the prayer. Can you make ruku' before the imam? Can you tell him, why did you read this surah, not this surah? You follow. It teach you how. And who's going to be in the first row, who's this and that, and so on. So look, the Sahaba, the fiqh of the Sahaba, subhanallah. The Prophet ﷺ died. And you know, the sunnah is to bury the body as soon as possible, day or night. Of course, we cannot do this here. Here is another fiqh that we need to understand. Some people say, Ya akhi, the sunnah, you want me to bury him night? How? If I'm going to go dig something at night, both of us, we're going to go to jail. So the Sahaba, they delayed the burial of the body until what? They choose the Amir. Why? Because they might differ on how to bury the Prophet. Somebody said, no, the Prophet should not be buried in the ground. He's the Prophet. Somebody might say this, somebody might. So we have been problem. So the Amir decide on these differences. And as I said, the Amir here, a head of a committee, whatever, that's his call. And we should accept it. As long as there is no clear haram, when he said this or that and so on. So we need to learn this stuff, inshallah. It will help also in the family, because in the family sometimes they turn the family like a Congress. Everybody has a vote. It doesn't work this way. No, we have an Amir, and as I said, so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to understand this fiqh. Because as I said, the goal is to keep our iman and brotherhood. Many times people sacrifice the brotherhood that the Prophet ﷺ, when he spoke about it, you see, I'm not going to do nothing in Islam, just to love my brothers for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where the Prophet, he talks about their reward is beyond imagination. That's why you see the suffering of the Muslim is their brotherhood. You see 2 billion people and their brothers in Gaza are suffering. They cannot have nothing to eat. Most of us, because we can do nothing, but some of us, they deserve it. Or this or that. And some people, they work with enemies against their brothers and so on, because they don't know the fiqh of the Jama'ah. May Allah help us to understand this. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring our hearts together. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reconcile between the Muslims everywhere. جزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. وجزاكم حبيبي.